Hi guys, I am so very excited to present to you this first pass of the 3D model for your new home in Woodside. I am really digging what we've come up with here in terms of how the floor plan is relating to this site. I feel like it's going to just really knock your socks off, especially in terms of the style that I've achieved based on your request for that sort of modern Tahoe look. So we're just going to do a really brief fly around here, but then I will go into more detail about each of the decisions I've made, as well as window placements, roof design, things like that. One caveat is the ADU is placed, but I haven't yet fully detailed it yet. I want to get your feedback on the main house before I start to copy some of those stylistic elements in to the ADU from the main house. So as we come up the driveway, we see we've got this extra parking turnaround here. The oak tree is perfectly centered. And then we start to see that we have done some retaining walls here. These retaining walls are rather tall, so I've opted to terrace them, which means that the secondary level here is 30 inches down and 36 inches wide. And having those proportions means we don't have to have a guardrail along here. Planting this terrace with some plants will help cushion anyone's fall if they happen to trip, although I don't think that's very likely. But still, it's nice, I think, to avoid having to have a guardrail lining this entire length of your front patio. Now we come up to the pair of garage doors here. This garage is clad in stone, and I think it really makes for a very heavy looking, massive looking element at the front entry, and I really like it. And though it's not really necessary, I've opted to put a frosted window here in the garage wall to articulate the otherwise unbroken stone. This will bring in some nice light into the back half of your garage. And I think that's a nice thing to have just to help articulate this front entry or front approach element. We take a step up to get from the path, we take a step up to get to the front patio, and we'll see the recessed front entry here. And at this point, the stone transitions to cedar siding. And I really like the way this element looks, how the family room has this pitched roof with this expressed beams that can start from the inside and continue to the exterior. And I've carried this roof slope down in a really clean way to also roof over the entry. And so it's slightly asymmetrical, but in a really intentional way, and I really like that. And one more element that I've opted to include here is that at this accent roof, I have pitched the roof out in plan as well. So the roof pitches up and down like a roof normally does, but then also, instead of just coming straight across this way, I've opted to bow or bow out the front of the roof, and it just gets you a little more covered area. Not that you really need it here on this north side. It's not so much for shade, but it is more for a light rain. So you could be out here during a light rain and just really appreciate the view that you've got out here while still feeling like you're in a covered and defined space. We're seeing the big triple sliding windows that would stack over on the right. And just a hint of the interior. The interior is not fully mocked up yet, but I did go ahead and mock up this really important piece, which is this three-sided fireplace. Well, I am just so excited about this feature. It's visible from the outside. It's visible and open from the dining room or the family room seating. I am so stoked with this as a room partition element. We're seeing the kitchen here. We've got the patio door leading out. We've also got a window here for your home command center, but there's still a solid corner here to put up a calendar or put up some things on the wall. It's important to have some solid wall space. And we're seeing a flip out window here that has a little bit of a countertop extension. I am not sure if I want this countertop extension because it is kind of at a head height. You know, if a kid's going to be running through here, they might bonk their head on this. So I think I would be okay omitting this because there's this counter space right here anyways. You could easily reach in to this unencumbered counter space. So let me know how you feel about this. I think this is something worth omitting and just reaching into the 2 foot deep counter space there. But then we've got our little outdoor kitchen here with a standard grill, hand washing sink, under counter refrigerator, and the newly requested pizza oven. The pizza oven's kind of bulky. I wouldn't mind if you guys picked a smaller pizza oven, but you know it's still a good. It fits here. It acts as sort of a end cap to this outdoor kitchen. And as we turn the corner here, we're starting to see how I am incorporating corner windows. I've opted to use the same window repeated 5 times, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 times, I should say, in the kitchen. I like that as a rhythm, but if you wanted, we could break this up and have these pairs of windows just become larger fixed windows. But in my mind, it's always better to limit the kit of parts in a home and utilize the same window size more often than incorporating or introducing new window sizes. And it's still really glassy. And I feel like this feels a bit more Tahoe cabin, you know, rather than going with big, big windows. We're seeing the pantry pop out right here with a single bit of glass here to let in light. This would be an awning window that would open up from, or would hinge at the top and open up from the bottom. It could be a casement window too, actually. Either way, this would be an operable window that would bring in some fresh air to the pantry. And now we're starting to see the master suite pop out. So just like at the family room, I'm incorporating some wood siding at the master suite because the master suite and the family room are the primo spaces in the home. And the the tall window here transitions with trim into some windows above your bed wall. And then we turn the corner and we see the sliding glass door. And check out this view we have. The interior is not fully mocked up, but from the bed wall, looking out this window, it's just superb. I know you're going to love the view this way. Turning the corner, we're seeing the back half of the home with a pair of casement windows at the master tub. And then we're seeing what I really like, this rhythm of these gable roofs over each of the back bedrooms, the office, the middle bedroom, and the second middle bedroom. And each of these spaces has its own defined roof space. And though it's open, it kind of does feel like everyone has their own little private patio space. And I've opted to incorporate these tiny little bench elements with some sliding doors to access some storage underneath. And I think it's really cute. I think you're going to like it, but I look forward to hearing your thoughts on this. At these two little valleys here in the middle, I want to dump the rain off of these roofs, but instead of having a gutter here, we'll do a scupper and a rain chain down to a stone anchor that will divert rain away from this area. I think that's just really cute. Now again, we're not seeing the ADU detailed yet, but this is the appropriate massing for the ADU, as well as an outdoor seating area. Now, one thing about this design is because we're on such a sloped hillside, I have had to cut a large retaining wall around the entire ADU, as well as a retaining wall around the back half of the home. This looks fine to me. I'm leaving plenty of hillside up here to retain natural vegetation or natural grade, which the town is going to be happy about. But we've got plenty of open space between the main home and this retaining wall. I really like the rhythm back here quite a lot. As we turn the corner, we see the walkway to the secondary parking space, and we're also seeing the fenced in dog run, which is covered partially by a deeper overhang here. But then we're seeing a pair of windows into the office space, and we're seeing the mechanical door for the water heater, a window for the mudroom, and then the dog flap. And then some more equipment in here, not too big of a deal. And then finally, we're at the other half or the other side of the garage with a door leading into the garage, lights over every one of these openings, and we are back towards the front of the house. Again, I am really, really happy with how this is looking. There's one other thing I wanted to go over, which was on the southern side of the roof, we've got some great spots for some solar panels, as well as a single skylight that would light up that interior hallway that leads to these two bedrooms as well as the two bathrooms. So that would provide a lot of light into the center of the home. I think that about covers it. I really look forward to hearing your thoughts on this. I think I will book a meeting for us early next week to get your feedback, and then based on the feedback you give me, I'll either make some significant tweaks to the main house and then copy it over to the ADU, or if you like what I've done here, I'll develop the ADU, get your feedback on that, and then I will prepare the town of Woodside's planning package so that they can give their feedback. Although I don't see anything here they're going to have any qualms about, other than maybe perhaps the height of the retaining walls here and the amount of cut we're doing. But I think it's okay given that, especially this retaining wall here is all within the buildable area of the home. We're not pushing into the front setback. The cut for the ADU, on the one hand, they may not like the amount of grading we're doing, but on the other hand, I think your neighbors are really going to appreciate not seeing the ADU all the way up at a steeper grade and being a really big, bulky thing. I think the neighbors will be really happy that we've sunk this house down and created a better connection between the main home and the ADU, as will you, I think. Well, guys, again, I really look forward to hearing your feedback. Thank you so much for this opportunity. I really love this house. Thank you.